What's up, guys, and welcome to the weekly Q&A. Our first question comes from Jaden Stone, who asks, what one thing we would like to see Rey, Finn, Poe, and Kylo each doing in the episode 9 trailer, which by now, when you're seeing this, you will have already seen, hopefully.
We're recording this on the Tuesday, the day before we leave for Celebration. Thought it would be fun to take a couple complete stabs in the dark regarding episode 9.
Yeah.
So the main thing I want to see from Poe and Rey and Finn is all three of them in the same room.
Yeah.
Interacting.
Just hanging out.
Uh-huh.
Talking about what's been happening.
Like, we have gotten that at the very end of The Last Jedi, kind of. They were at least in the same room. They weren't talking. The Poe Dameron comic, they were all sitting around a table talking about, like, what crazy stuff just happened. And that was really nice. So I want to see them all working together.
Mm-hmm.
They are, like, the trilogy's big three. I mean, that's up for debate. A lot of people want to throw Kylo in there too. But at least for the good guys, they're the big three. I want to see them all working together, going on adventures. I think that would be great.
Yeah. I would like to see Rey maybe doing some more training.
Okay.
I don't know. I just want to see her swinging that lightsaber around again. I would like to see one of them interacting with Lando.
Yeah. I want to see Lando interacting with anyone.
Yeah. And I want to see Kylo doing something crazy. Just super dark side crazy.
What if we saw, like, him with yellow eyes or something? That would be cool. I'd love to, I mean, I'm still pushing for him to go to Mustafar and see the castle. I'd love to see something like that.
Yeah,
or
going on like a dark side vision quest.
That's kind of what I thought he would do in The Last Jedi way back when we knew nothing. But I could see, or to build off what I said earlier, I would like to see all four of them in the same room. That could be cool. People would lose their minds. There are shippers for Rey and literally all three of those people. What's going to happen?
Jim W. wants to know if episode 9 will be the end of Rey and company, or will they continue their journey? Well, first of all, I hope that the spinoff is called Rey and Company.
Rey and Company. And they just start like a scavenging business.
Yeah.
They take over Unkar Plutt's thing, but it's like a benevolent side. And they bring Jakku back.
Yeah. I mean, although I don't think any of them want to go back to Jakku.
Everyone wants to go back to Jakku. I do not think this will be the end for them. I do think it will be the end of their story in the movies. Maybe down the line, they'll pick it back up. But for the immediate time being, I think we're probably going to get books and comics about them continuing their story. And I think we're also going to get books and comics continuing like Luke and Leia and Han's story after Return of the Jedi. But I'm not expecting them to go into like new movies starring Rey and Company.
You don't want like 10, 11, and 12 about these characters?
Not really. I don't want there to be a continuation of the Skywalker saga right now. I'm happy to go explore something new and get away from all the emotional baggage that the Skywalker saga has with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard in this day and age where it's like there's so much content coming out, but I mean, when you think back to the original trilogy, you got the 3 movies, and then that was it. You got books.
Mm-hmm.
What if we got a holiday special?
I would be so pleasantly shocked if they did that.
I just thought of that, and that'd be great.
If they did that, do you think they would make it purposefully cheesy?
Oh.
Or would they try to make something, like, really great?
I would hope that it would be purposely cheesy.
That's kind of what I would want, too. Like, just lean into it at this point.
Yeah. But I agree. I think we probably won't see them on the big screen again for a while, if ever.
I think all three of them probably want to
is sad.
Move on. I mean, everyone except for Harrison Ford in the original trilogy kind of got just stuck. They were cast type. That's all they were known for. I don't think that any of them want that to happen.
Yeah.
So I think they're probably going to spread off.
That's the dangers of agreeing to be a main character in a Star Wars, any Star Wars movie or TV show now.
Yeah, I think so. I think that could be like the thing you are most known for.
Star Wars fans just close in on you and like
slowly smother you.
You can't do anything else for the rest of your life.
Oh no.
Johnny Loden asks if we think the movies after Episode 9 will move away from the Jedi and the Sith entirely, and would we like that?
I think that some will and some won't. I think that we're going to explore Old Republic stuff, and that's going to be probably very heavily involved with the Jedi and or Sith. And then, let's say, for argument's sake, that's the Benioff Weiss series. Maybe Rian Johnson does something completely different. I don't see him moving away from the Force. I think he's very interested in that stuff and wants to explore it more, but might not have anything to do with a Force enemy, like a dark side Force user. It could be like a light side user exploring the galaxy and just trying to learn.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I agree. I could see Rian Johnson making something pretty different. Because, I mean, The Last Jedi was significantly different from any other Star Wars movie. So I am excited to see what he makes. But I do also want the Old Republic stuff and, like, really heavily involved Sith, like old school Sith Jedi stuff.
I think that there's going to be a lot more flexibility in future films. I mean, you can't tell a Skywalker saga story without the Force, without the Jedi. But in the future, I think that's different. And I will say, which surprised me, I kind of missed the presence of the Force in both Solo and Rogue One. I love the books, like the X-Wing books, where the Force is almost not existent. Mm-hmm. And I was expecting that I would kind of love that aspect of those movies, but I found myself missing it in the movies. So I kind of feel like the Force will always be at least a little bit there. I mean, like, sure, it obviously was related to the Force. I don't know. I think I kind of want the Force to be involved at least to some degree.
Yeah, and I agree, although I loved Rogue One, and I think that absence of the Force made the Vader scene even that much more exciting.
I agree.
Because it's like, not only is it Vader massacring a bunch of people, which we all want to see all the time, obviously.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like a whole movie of a completely different story. No Jedi, no Force, and then bam, we get scary Vader.
I totally agree. It makes it that much more impactful when it's like, oh yeah, no one's used the Force this entire time, and now he's using it, and it's terrifying. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alden Diaz wants to know what our favorite Star Wars experiences have been as fans or content creators. As fans, I would say going to Celebration for the first time in Orlando.
I think that's going to be my answer for both. That was our first Celebration 2 years ago, and it blew me away how much fun it was. Just meeting people left and right.
Yeah.
And I do think that our, I don't want to say status, just the fact that we are content creators, like, a lot of people recognized us, which shocked me. Mm-hmm. I wasn't expecting people to, like, care.
Yeah.
And so many people were just, like, happy to shake our hands and stuff, and I mean, that fills you with love. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, and I guess for me as a content creator, we've been going to Dragon Con for over 10 years now, and we've just recently started getting media passes and, like, being on panels, and you've done it more than I have, but when I was on the, like, what to expect from Episode 9 panel, that was really exciting for me as a content creator because I had never done that before. And then since I've been more involved on videos and the Q&As and stuff, having people want to know my specific, like, thoughts on things has been really exciting. I'm not just in my little Twitter cave.
I mean, yeah, I there's been a lot of moments, and a lot of them have been at Dragon Con, where I've been like, just what's going on? I'm interviewing Timothy Zahn. Like, I never expected that was going to happen when I started making little trivia videos. And now, like, I'm sitting in a room with Timothy Zahn, and we're just going to talk about Star Wars. And then afterwards, he just wanted to keep talking. Like, our interview time was up, camera was off, and he's like, let's keep going. I'm like, what in the world? Like, he's a diehard Star Wars fan, and he just wanted to chat Star Wars with me.
Yeah. And like all the new friends that we've made since
Yeah.
we started the channel, some we've met in person, some we hope to meet at Celebration. All that's been really great.
I'm already, like, not looking forward to Tuesday, so a week from today when we're recording this, and a couple days from Saturday. I'm gonna be depressed when we have to leave.
We haven't even packed and we're already sad about leaving.
Yeah. I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of Saturday and how bummed I'll be already. And I'll also say that Alden mentioned the Schmodown. Winning the live event was a lot of fun. Just competing in it. Even if I didn't win, coming down to the last question with Joseph Scrimshaw was really exciting. That was my favorite match so far, is like being there live with a crowd, even though it's terrifying. There's so much more energy there.
Yeah.
And seeing people, like people who aren't necessarily diehard Star Wars fans, they probably will be at Celebration, but the people are just there to watch some nerds yell about movie trivia.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun.
That's... My very first one is going to be live at Celebration and with a room full of people counting on me to know my stuff.
That's pressure. I won't lie to you. That's a lot of pressure.
I've been having nightmares. Grinding my teeth a lot.
You have any dark side visions?
Lots. They're all of me losing.
Oh.
Or winning and then being so consumed by power.
Kicking tables over and throwing chairs into the audience.
Yeah, my ego is going to go through the roof if I win. Zachary asks how we feel about people calling Star Wars Legends glorified fan fiction. That's a new one for me. I don't know if I've really seen people say that.
I see that a lot, and I don't like it. To me, that is like the opposite end of the spectrum. So on the one side, you have people who like really hate The Last Jedi and are mad about that. Well, if you go all the way to the other end, you have people who like really love the new canon, and in order to say how much they love it, they tear down what came before. And, well, first of all, everything that comes out at this point, unless your name is George Lucas, it's fan fiction in a sense. Like, you are a fan and you are building off of this universe that George Lucas built. Mm-hmm. George Lucas is the creator. He's the one that I think should have final say. Everyone else was probably a fan of Star Wars first and foremost, but they all earned their position, whether it's now in the canon or back in the expanded universe.
Right, but I mean, George Lucas doesn't really make any more decisions as far as Star Wars goes,
right,
anymore. So
I'm just saying.
But you're saying whoever's there now got there because they earned it.
Yes.
From George's
not necessarily
idea.
George. I just like everyone that is writing a Star Wars book or a comic, directing a movie, they all earned the right to do that.
Right.
And I think the same is true for the people that wrote all of the Legends books. They earned the right to do that. All those comics and all those books. And I love a lot of those stories. So I just don't like seeing people say, Legends is amazing, canon sucks, or canon is amazing, Legends sucks. Like, you can just like what you like without having to tear down someone else's work.
Yeah, I mean, Legends material is still, like, those people worked so hard to create those stories. I mean, how many X-Wing books were there?
11.
That's a lot of books.
And they're all amazing.
For someone to create. And then, yeah, Timothy Zahn wrote books and introduced Thrawn and like...
And I mean, the thing is, Legends, the extended universe, whatever you want to call it, they kept Star Wars alive when nothing else was happening in those like late 80s to late 90s.
Ages.
Yeah, that's what people call it.
Yeah.
Like, all we had were books and comics. If we didn't have those, there might not be interest in Star Wars today. Like, yeah. I don't know how the prequels would have done, like, if we didn't have something to keep the diehard fans going. So, no, I don't like seeing people disparage Legends in any way. That's it for patron questions. If you're a patron and you didn't see your question answered here, just head over to Patreon, where we're going to leave you a written response. We probably haven't yet because we're at Celebration. I'm sure we've fallen behind, so I'm sorry, but it'll happen. If you don't know what Patreon is, you can learn more by following the link in the description. Just $1 a month will get you access to extra Star Wars Explained content like audio commentaries for the films and the Clone Wars. And this week's episode is Liberty on Ryloth, and that's available right now if you're interested.
Unfortunately, in the United States, Clone Wars is it's not on Netflix anymore.
That's true.
So we'll all shed a tear for that. Hopefully you have the DVDs.
Mm-hmm. I did forget about that, and now I'm sad again.
Yeah.
But it'll probably be back soon in Disney Plus form.
Yes.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. On to YouTube questions. Hero Aniran asks if we think the brainworms from the Clone Wars could cause mental damage, and if the experience caused Barriss to attack the Jedi Temple.
In the real world, yes, I'm sure having a worm invade your brain and turn you into a zombie would have long-term effects on you.
Probably.
In Star Wars, I kind of doubt it. I think it's just something that happened to Barriss and she shook it off. But it is a fun thought experiment. Like, did it really mess her up in some way? But no, I don't think that... I think her story is more about the fact that she felt the Jedi were losing their way, which I think is a valid argument. And then she went about going against that in the completely wrong way. But I think that's more what that arc was trying to say.
Yeah. Padawan of Christ wants to know if we think Snoke being dead or alive has any effect on Kylo Ren's powers.
I kind of do. I kind of think that his death is going to maybe unleash Kylo in a way.
Yeah, when he's in that room and he wakes up and Hux is there, and Hux is like, the Supreme Leader is dead, he starts choking Hux with the Force and is like, the Supreme Leader is dead? Like, you can see in his face that he is, like, gonna go off the deep end.
Yeah. So I kind of feel like, Darksiders don't really tend to... They're selfish. So it's not like Snoke was trying to help Kylo be his best self. He was trying to get Kylo to, I don't know, his full potential that was still controllable.
Yeah.
Snoke still wants to be in control of Kylo Ren. Snoke's gone.
Yeah. And he kept Kylo Ren in this, like, middle ground place. And he kept trying to make him angry by, like, putting him down and telling him, you got that Skywalker blood, but you just aren't it.
You're just a child in a mask.
Just a child in a mask. And that kind of, like, kept pressing him down in a way. And now that he's gone, Kylo's like, I'm taking over.
Yeah.
This is my party now.
Yeah. I could absolutely see Kylo being even more terrifying, having even more power, being even more unhinged. Like, I could see him being just extra everything in Episode 9.
Yeah. Grievous Guy asks, if Tarkin had survived to the Battle of Jakku, would he have been given the invitation to the unknown regions?
My gut says yes. So that's, I guess, little bit of quick background. The Battle of Jakku was meant to mostly destroy the Empire. It was the Emperor saying, like, you didn't keep me alive, so you're not worthy of survival. But a couple people did get an invitation to go to the unknown regions, where they would basically start the First Order. People like Admiral Versio, Iden's father, he got the invitation. I feel like Tarkin would have been above him.
Yeah.
I think Tarkin would have been invited.
Yeah. Especially if he had not been so, I don't know, like, stubborn to stay on the Death Star. I feel like that would have been the mark of someone who...
Although that's interesting. What if he had left the Death Star, it had been destroyed? Like, Palpatine kind of held Vader responsible because he was literally the only survivor, but if Tarkin abandoned the station, would he have been able to manipulate his way out of that? Because he kind of manipulated his way into control of the Death Star in the first place. I think he probably still would have been fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the Emperor respected him enough.
He was the one to make the call to destroy an entire planet on a whim, so I feel like he gets invited to the bad guy party. Everything's a party.
Everything's a party with you today.
I'm at party mode. The Burger Hut 7 wants to know if we'll see the Ring of Caffeine again and how it could be used. Ooh. We could see it in Resistance.
Oh, that's a good spot for it.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that. I was going to say it has popped up in the comics briefly.
But, like, we don't know kind of where the guys from the Resistance are going to end up. We know where they were planning to go, but the hyperdrive on the Colossus and that thing taking off is something that hasn't happened in a while. So they were like,
who knows?
Hopefully we're going in the right direction. But yeah, it would be interesting to see them go there and then maybe like run into a couple of people there and try to get some information.
Tivik's widow.
Yeah. I don't think Tivik's wife would be hanging out there.
I just love that location. I don't know why. When it popped up in Rogue One, I was like, oh, that's cool.
It's
like they built two asteroids together.
Yeah, it's so underbelly. Like, it makes sense for Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I could see Maz
Mandalorian, maybe?
there. Yeah, Mandalorian.
I think there are a lot of options. But yeah, I just want to see it again on the big or small screen because I think it's such a cool idea.
Yeah. It's where good guys and bad guys hang out and
kill each other.
Kill each other in alleys. Resistance Chris asks if Anakin would have overthrown Palpatine if he hadn't been so badly injured on Mustafar.
I don't think so.
No, yeah. After everything he did it because of what Palpatine was telling him he could help him learn.
I think it's kind of the same thing as Snoke and Kylo. I think Palpatine was keeping Anakin under his thumb, whether he's in the suit or not.
Yeah.
He's keeping Anakin at like his strongest that's still controllable. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the story of Anakin and Darth Vader, whether or not he's burnt up on Mustafar.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if he would have... I don't know if he would have stuck around and like done all the things that Vader did in the same way had he not been so injured and like had to become this.
It'd be interesting to see how things would have been different if his face were out there.
Yeah. And if he didn't have to like basically relearn how to
walk,
be a person and use the Force with the suit and everything.
I do think that if Padme had survived, then I think he would have overthrown Palpatine, because he said as much on Mustafar.
Yeah.
So...
like, that was his first question when he wakes up in the suit, is like, where's Padme? And if Palpatine was like, oh, she's...
fine.
She's here. He would have been like...
Maybe right away. But, yeah, I think that once Padme died, he was just so broken. So whether or not he's in a suit, I think he still would have just been like, all right, well, this is me now.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, the whole idea that he killed her really broke him.
Yeah. That's all the time for questions we have today. If you want to leave a question for next week's video, just put it in the comments below or sign up for Patreon to join our weekly Q&A discussion. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
And as always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.